Welcome to part 6 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now it's time to expose April May for what she really is, an eavesdropper with a wiretap. Now, you chose that she heard it because she couldn't have handled it. If you chose she handled it, you'll get a hit in the credibility. So on that note, everybody is wondering, what do you mean by she heard it? The thing that people don't understand is we still have the wiretap. In fact, now would be a great time to pull that wiretap out. And with that said, this is evidence that's not turned into Edgeworth as well. Oh boy, Edgeworth is gonna be in trouble. And look at April May's face. Jesus Christ. I should have a screenshot for every one of her faces, man. She just basically almost popped a vein. Looks could kill right now. I'm sorry, that face of hers. And you can tell by the recording that I was trying to hold in my laughter. Jesus Christ. And unfortunately, it turns out that the wiretapping actually does have something to do with the crime. Because I'm pretty sure people have forgotten part 3, when Phoenix tried to call the police. Had they not tampered with the phone, the police would have gotten there earlier and possibly saved Mia. But because the receiver was broken, they couldn't call the police. So on that note, they were practically listening in on Mia and Maya's conversation. And that's why you had to reselect the phone. But yeah, I just pretty much gave you a serious implication as to why them wiretapping the phone was definitely a bad thing. And how it was linked to the murder. Because of course, it could have saved Mia's life, but it didn't. Even though we are repeating the same exact dialogue again, it's safe to say that, April May pretty much used the wiretap to listen to the conversation. And you already know this because it was already given away by, well, Capcom, of course. And Edgeworth is trying to save face. Why are you trying to save face, Edgeworth? And the defense is pretty much on the roll here. And as for April May, she's not going to answer. she done fucking snapped. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at the fact that she switches personalities. And now she's crying and trying to turn on the charm. Well, I don't know if it's crocodile tears or what not. But it doesn't matter which one. Excuse me one second. Seriously, for a guy who's been erased from existence, he sir calls me a lot. Anyway, it doesn't matter which one you choose. It'll still bring you over to, well, the point of her tapping the phone. And that's the main question. Why? And now she's trying to be cutesy to dodge the question. And wait, hold on. Edgeworth told her to say that? I just read that dialogue very well. I've done this case multiple times. Like once on the game, or at least once or twice on the Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance. I meant to say Nintendo DS, because the Game Boy Advance is kind of a hard thing to find, and it can't be translated. But more importantly, I've done it once or twice on the Nintendo DS, and I also done it on the, oh god, she actually read her thought. And, of course, once again with the tits jiggle. But as I was saying, the fact that Phoenix mentioned something about Edgeworth actually saying something to her, she shoots a dirty look at him too when he said that. But the fact of her actually being coached by Edgeworth, I missed that line when I replayed this on the DSN for the Xbox One. So I just basically found out that she said that line. But there is one thing she brings up: the hotel. The fact that she had iced coffee. That right there pretty much sealed the fate of this case. But at least that brings up another possibility. Somebody else who did it. And however, the wiretapping unfortunately has no bearing according to Edgeworth. Unfortunately, there is one small problem. Capcom has no subtlety, so we'll eventually figure out who this other person she was with was. So we'll have no choice, by the way, to call on the bellboy, because if you go and continue to examine Miss May, she will walk out of the court. You'll be forced to accept Edgeworth's deal, and you screw this up, it's an automatic game over. I'm not kidding. Be wary, this is one of, I think, 3 instances where that happened. So on that note, Edgeworth basically is trying to goad Phoenix into swinging the trial his way. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I got hiccups there. However, he's going to make Phoenix Wright agree on one condition throughout the entirety of this trial. And that condition is you will have to accept the verdict of guilty for Maya if you cannot prove that her wiretapping had something to do with the murder. So the bellboy is the only hope between you actually finding a hole in this case and Maya going to jail for murder that she probably did not commit. More importantly, you had better watch your step, because it is a game over. So accept the conditions. If you give up, you'll be forced to have the conditions on you. So it is a but thou must moment. Although more reason why I hate this case, because of the hand-holding and the forced paths. I did mention this is my least favorite case, and that was one of the reasons why. So on that note, Edgeworth is pretty much elated that he basically got the upper hand for now. Hence that keyword, for now. So on that note, time for the bellboy to make his appearance. Now that bellboy is about to break this case wide open. You'll see in just a moment. But first, the bellboy has to introduce himself. And obviously, that's where we're going to be at. Now the thing is, there's also the matter of Edgeworth's shady back alley deals. And why does that play an important role? the bellboy, that's why, as you will soon see. So, however, the bellboy will testify, and in case you're wondering why there was a skipped frame, Upload Studio, that's why. So, on that note, the witness testimony. For the bellboy, you are going to have to... Oh yeah, it just had a frame rate drop there. For the bellboy, you're going to have to press his last two statements. Actually, both of them, not just one at a time. I mean, not just one or the other. You're going to have to press both of them. So on that note, you will have to press the statement he just made just now about the iced coffee. And you'll have to press the last statement about him delivering the iced coffee to Miss May. So, you'll have to press those and no other statements. Because I should warn you right now, you press any other statement beside those two, this trial is over. I'm dead serious. Oh, and don't attempt to present anything. If you do, this is a warning. Nothing you present is going to actually help. Because you see that meter in the top right-hand corner? Gone, just like that. You automatically lose if you present anything wrong. And that means anything at all. So on that note, you press the fourth and fifth statement. And you kind of have to, in order for you to keep the actual story going. So present that, so press that statement too. I know I sound repetitive and it may bore you, but I'm trying to tell you that this game, despite it being a game of memory, has a lot of instant game over tendencies. In Justice for All, it's a lot worse. In fact, it's not just Justice for All, Trials of Tribulation has that too. So on that note, the bellboy ended up becoming flustered and also having a crush on April May because she kissed him on the cheek. And the way it was, the bellboy was practically manipulated. And only remembering April May. That's probably why she had an quote-unquote alibi, which is about to be broke by the bellboy in a couple of minutes. He's talking about having to end the tedious cross-examination. Ha! There is a way to do this. Protest or give up doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're going to extend we're going to probably extend the questioning a little bit more. And the judge will actually give you one more chance. However, here's the thing. This last chance, honestly, only comes if you actually didn't present any evidence. But if you have, yeah, it's automatic game over. If you haven't, don't worry about it. Just pick any one of the three choices, it doesn't matter. The check-in's the one that makes the most sense, but the others will still ask about who she was with. So it really does not matter which one you picked. And the bellboy just dropped the bombshell on us. The fact that she actually she actually had somebody when she came in the hotel, and more importantly, she didn't check in alone. looks like Edgeworth cannot object his way out of this one. Unfortunately, we're about to pop the bombshell too. And I told you, the bellboy was a part of the back alley deal. And he was supposed to mention that. The problem... Edgeworth told him not to say it. That right there could actually have somebody arrested. Or in the case of Edgeworth, with a penalty. And with that said, all we've done is pretty much delay Maya going to jail for life for something she didn't do. But it turns out that not only April May was spying on Mia and Maya, but also she had somebody else with her who wasn't in the hotel the entirety of the time. In other words, if we can expose that other person, which Capcom has already done with its lack of subtlety at the beginning of this case, we have an open and shut case. Oh, and if you pick anyone else other than the man that was with April May, guess what? Penalty. And this, well, you always tend to pwn Edgeworth or any of the prosecutors with logic. And the way they look like they just got punched in the face. While she has an alibi, she actually was a two-man team. So on that note, it's not too late to save Mia, or Maya for that matter. Oh, Edgeworth. This is not the first unscrupulous thing that you'll actually be charged for, and it certainly won't be the last. And now we've got one more day to investigate, and one more day to find out who the real killer is. So we just practically bought ourselves some time. And obviously, Maya would actually be glad of the news, with the exception of the fact that she's not off the hook just yet. And, with the fact that she was watching the whole case, she actually grew to be a fan of Edgeworth, let alone Phoenix. But more like Edgeworth. It turns out Maya's not free, much to her dismay. And it means we're gonna have to find the man who actually did it. And oh boy, it's gonna be tougher than what you expect. Because you thought that this is gonna be a walk in the park? No. Well, technically it is, because of the difficulty in the game. But the guy who you're looking for is, let's just say, not so easy to be intimidated, let alone to be subpoenaed. So on that note, that will end. Well, actually, first we get April May's testimony. And make sure you read April May's testimony. Because that testimony, there's only one part of it that'll actually help you in this case. And pay close attention, because it's one of those things that if you see it, it'll pass by very quickly, so thankfully you have the court records. Pay as close attention as humanly possible to it, because it's going to help you. But for now, we're going to be investigating. And oh boy, Phoenix got his work cut out for him. Not only are we going to be investigating certain areas, But we're going to be meeting probably one of the biggest internet memes to ever hit the Phoenix Wright anime. It's the introduction, for real this time, of Red White. Hopefully I could get it in the next part, but if not, it'll probably be in another part. But till then, we'll be investigating that man in the mirror in part 7. This is RFman 985. See you guys next time.